Hey, what is going on, guys? Calahanjo here, and welcome back to that episode of Magayon. In this episode, we're going to be building the first area in the capital, which is the Capitol building itself. So, yeah, there's a little bit of an update for you guys. So, we are actually on phase 2 of Magayon, with phase 1 being like the initial phase where we were just figuring things out and how things were like, how Magayon will form, what Magayon will be, and how we're going to be doing this series. And phase 2 is going to be a little bit more of a better approach to the series. We're going to be taking it a little bit more seriously, and we're going to be planning out things better. And yeah, anyways, to start this video off, we're going to be building the Capitol building because I asked in a poll after the last episode of phase 1, which was the building layout of this capital city of Magayon. I asked whether or not I should build the capital city first or the old city, and it was like 50-50, and then it was 60, and then the majority became the Capitol building. So that's what I'm building right now. And you might be wondering where I'm taking inspiration from. So I'm taking inspiration from the Capitol building in Washington DC in America, and also but that's the main inspiration for this north facing part of this Capitol building that I'm building here. So I'm taking inspiration from the one in Washington DC where the visitor center is underground. So you'd see me build that session area right there, and that's going to be the entrance to the underground visitor center that's open to the public. So the north part of the Capitol building is open to the public, but only the visitor center, and the top part is like reserved for other people. So if you want to go, you have to go to that specific road, and these like areas here are not accessible. I think I should, the entire building would be accessible to the public, but it's gonna be a little bit difficult. And I think that underground like area there, that's also like where the parking is, because all the parking in the Capitol is moved underground so that they'd have, they won't disrupt the place, and that there's not much parking here in this place because land value in the Capitol is very, very, very high. So most buildings here are dense, but they are not that tall because capital cities, the area around this, as they imposed like a law or a building code which limits the height of the buildings close to the Capitol building to not block views from it and to not make the Capitol building look small. So the Capitol building should look big and visible from all the avenues in the city. It's just like the one in in London for St. Paul's Cathedral, I think. So they have like building codes that certain buildings must not block views of the cathedral in certain parts of London, and developments are like there. And also in York, like the setback rule, where the buildings are set back, the higher they go, something like that. We're gonna be replicating that instead of a building in like a citywide level, and also like the Japanese zoning thing. So the smaller the roads, the lower the building; the bigger the roads, the taller the building. We're gonna also be applying that in Magayon. So stay tuned, because in the next episode, I will be finishing the park and fixing up the roads and stuff. And then after that, we're actually going to be doing more of the built environment, like the centers of finance and stuff. But I think, we need a little bit of, we need a little bit of people. We need a little bit of action in the city, because there's, as you can see, there's nobody walking there, and even in the cinematics there are little people walking. And I think we need to build residential areas first, and the outskirts of the city are gonna be residential. So if you want to see me build like residential areas, comment down below what you want to see. I'm thinking of public housing on newer developments, and the older developments are like dense residential areas. So who knows? Well, but I think I will be doing residential areas first. I'll be doing a poll. I'll make a poll. But anyways, getting back on the video, I'm using these retaining walls, which are stone walls, and they're like big stone, like they're grayish, they're dark colored. And here in where I live near the volcano, the perfect cone volcano, which you'll see in the cinematics, I think, volcanic rocks are very much part of the architecture of the area. So a lot of our churches here are made out of the stone volcanoes, and they've been standing strong for, I don't know, for more than 300 years, I guess. And yeah, so I'm incorporating a little bit of the aspect of the volcano, volcanic choo-choo-ness and stuff with the architecture of the Capitol, because the Capitol building must reflect the people, essentially, because this is where the legislative branch of government is. So this is where the laws are like checked before this is where the laws are approved, I guess. So yes, what you're seeing here is the north face of the Capitol building. To the left you will see the Senate, and to the east you'll see the House of Representatives. So those like wings there, and then the center is like, you know, public space, and that's where they like meet and stuff. So I'll also be building the two other branches of government, which is the president and the what do you call this, it's not the Senate, you know, but I'll get back to it. But yeah, I am changing the roofs because, you know, this building looks very much neoclassicist, like the one but this building is actually from Japan, so a lot of Japanese assets are going to be used in this series because we don't have that much Southeast Asian assets in the workshop. But luckily we have these high school assets by Palm's Time, and their roofs are like perfectly shaped. They're like very much Southeast Asian, and they can be changed. The colors can be changed, so that's very important to me because I love customization. And I just adjusted this to the roof of the university building. I'm using the university building at the bottom to like change the architecture up a bit. It's a Thai university. I'm using a lot of Thai assets because Thai has the most preserved type of Southeast Asian architecture. They're like the most expansive, yeah, in that area. So I'm also using a lot of Thai assets for the series, and that is actually a provincial hall. But yeah, I use that to like change it up a bit to make it a little bit more unique and special to only on Magayon and things like that. I actually made an entire history about Magayon and such. I'm thinking of making a wiki page so that it would be a little bit easier for me to explain, and you know, just for fun, you know, that's where I put my spare time on, because that's a little bit better than just wasting my time watching TikToks and stuff. But anyways, getting back on the video, you can see me place those roofs, and they're like in a slope, like a triangle, and the triangle is a very, very special like symbol in Magayon. The bridge connecting the main island to the others, like the Magayon bridge, has triangle steel, the steel like lines connecting the main spans of the bridge. Those are shaped like a triangle. They're like two triangles. And then the roofs of these are also triangles. Three is also special because the triangles are like they hark back to the perfect cone volcano, which is like a triangle when you look at it from the bottom. So yeah, that's a little bit. And also this building, I chose this building because it's the size of it and the design, and also because it has a pyramid instead of a dome on top of it. So it's connected to the triangle theme that we're going for here. And also, speaking of triangle, tri means three, so three is also a very important symbol in Magayon, because there, in my like lore and fiction for Magayon, it was founded by three people, Maga and Yon or something. I need to fix that, but basically Magayon was founded by three people, And then there are three main islands of Magayon. And if you know, the Philippines has three main islands: Luzon, which is the biggest; Visayas, which is the smallest; and Mindanao, which is the second, and it's in the south. So, and also the three branches of the government: legislative, judiciary, and executive. Yes, I remember. The president of Magayon or something will be living in the old city, I think, and that entire, like, the road here on the left, that one, that would be where most of the government buildings would be, around the walled city, because that's what it is. I'm just following Burnham's plan at this point. But yeah, in the next episode, I won't be doing that. I'll be doing that further down the line. But yeah, that's what Magayon is. Anyways, getting back on the video, I have issues with this road because I really don't know. The road network here is a little bit messy, and it's just all. So that's the building. I forgot that I shot that for a preview. Anyways, the roads are a little bit messy, and I'll be fixing that in the next episode. The next episode will be mostly about roads. And yeah, anyways, getting back, the visitor center, I placed like doors so that you'd know that that's an entrance or something. Let's just keep the vibe. I'm not being too high on detailing, too specific. I just want to get the basic shape and stuff, but I think there's a lot of detailing already. But anyways, it is what it is. Placing down some, what they call these, railways. I keep saying what you call these because I'm not really familiar with what they're called. I just look at it, place it, done. Works fine, looks great, amazing, perfect. But anyways, getting back, so the road controller, very important, and the move it issue has been fixed. I think they don't clip that often or something, and that's amazing. Because in the past episodes, whenever I place surfaces or props, they move whenever I change the terrain and such. So yeah, thank God I fixed that, and it's amazing because a lot of the builds that I'm building here are going to be layered, stacked, and they're different leveled builds. And because I don't want to make it like too plain, and the terrain here in the city won't be that flat. I'll be changing things up a bit because that's generally the main topography of the region, and I also want to play. I don't want to make it too flat because we have a very small area here to work with, so that means we have to be very we have to plan things carefully. We have to be smart with our decisions on how to build the city, because in my last series, the scaling was way off, and so I just decided to not continue. But yeah, we learn from our mistakes and we can do better from it. But anyways, speaking of layering, here's a podium thing level that I built, and that's like, you can't actually use this road here to land or unload the vehicle. You have to do it underground or something. Though most of the roads here are one-way roads, I'm going to be fixing that. I'm going to be explaining the roads in the next episode. But basically, the Capitol building is in the center of all the avenues in the city. It's like in the middle of it. Like the tallest part, the main tower, the dome, the pyramid is visible from all avenues, and it's a symbol of power. Like, it's there to remind you that the government is always there or something. The regime is always there, looming around. Like, whatever you do, if you do something wrong, you'd have to pay for it or something. It's very much this dictatorish feeling, or safe, depending on what year of Magayon this is, because I have a very complex history for Magayon. I'm going to be talking about that in a future episode. And if you want to be updated with everything new with Magayon, consider subscribing and hit that bell notification so you'll be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. So yeah, I am building this reflective pool, and in the Lore of Magayon, this was later added in the future because, I don't know, if you want to contribute to the history of Magayon, I have a wiki page, or just comment down below. The wiki page is still under development. And if you want to have like communicate with me and stuff, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I think I'm more active on Instagram, but I want to be more active on Twitter, but my followers are not there yet, so I'm sticking with Instagram for now. But anyways, the pool of reflection, it's like, harkening back once again for the like reflecting and stuff. I don't know, I'm so lightheaded right now. It's 3 a.m. in the morning here in the Philippines, and I'm recording this because I have tons of schoolwork to do, and I don't want this episode is already this video has already been delayed to when you're seeing this in the 14th of May, but yeah, I'm recording this at the 10th. This is the 10th of May, so yeah, I wanted to push out videos so that the schedule won't be too cramped, and whenever I have free time I have to create these videos because I want to have fun too, because school is stressful, and when I don't want to do schoolwork, I play Cities Skylines and I have fun. It's like my therapy. It's like my stress relief. And making these videos also mean I can share my thoughts, and not because these ideas that I have I can't share them with normal people like the average person, because their interests are not the same as the people watching this video, because the people watching my City Skylines video understand what I'm talking about. And yeah, because of this pandemic and the Philippines still in lockdown after an entire year, it's been quite stressful and quite grating on my mental health and stability. So making these videos helped me so much, and if you want to help me make more videos, consider supporting me on Patreon, because I've actually launched the Patreon page, and this video, if you're watching this video would already have been live there like on the 11th, I guess. So you'll be having access to you'll be having early access to videos, exclusive content, and everyone from the lowest tier will become an official citizen of Magayon. But you have to go to you can also have your name will be in the credits, and you can even have like a shout out. And I have a Discord, which I'm very excited about, because I really want to talk to you guys about Magayon, and yeah, I want to share ideas, because it's community, because yeah, same people, same thought, same vibe, same feeling. So I need to get back to what I'm doing. So you saw me landscape the entire thing. It looks very gorgeous, very luxurious, very high maintenance type of thing. It's very much regal, and the trees that I'm using here are very much Southeast Asian banana plants, fern, coconut trees. I don't place coconut trees in the Capitol building because they don't fit in as well, but I have small ones. And these acacia trees are very much everywhere in the Philippines, especially because they provide shade, and it's like an amazing. They provide shade. They make the air cool. It looks nice. It's an all-in-one thing. It's like they've got it all for you. Like the awesome build that I built, the largest mall, which I was wrong. It's not the largest mall. It never was. It's just an iconic mall because of its name and such. And they have anyways, getting back to the video. If you're new to this channel, I'm very, very sorry, but I go on different tangents, like the Patreon, like the story community tangent. But here we are, going back to the video. I am using just adding a little bit detailing. There's nothing much to talk about actually. I'm just detailing, doing some finishing touches, and later on I'm going to be doing some lighting with the city. And so yeah, that's essentially it for the episode. We are actually nearing the end, so thank you for bearing with my commentary. I hope you've enjoyed the build though, because I had 3 trials for this Capitol building, and I just couldn't find the perfect. On my first trial, everything was way off. Second trial, it was kind of good, and then that's when I got the idea for the roof. And then third trial, the game, there was issues. My time, I don't want to go to school anymore. Anyways, so yeah, the top of the Capitol is very much exclusive. I know it's actually open to the public. Anyone can go to the top, because this actually be this. I have like a lore again, part of the lore. The Capitol building was very much private during World War II. Nobody was allowed to go in. Nobody was allowed to go out or something. I think the Magayon has a dictator face. Question mark? Hint hint. Wink wink. Magayon is Magayon has a very complex and controversial history, if you know what I mean. This is not like a happy-go-lucky city. Like, everything's good, everything's nice, everything's amazing, everything's doing so. We're like so great, but how did they get so rich, and why is everything so beautiful? Why is it Magayon? What was the cost they had to pay? I have hints. So this is what essentially, if you're familiar with Asgard, if you're familiar with Panem, with most of how colonists became rich, that's one of the ideas that I'm thinking about on how Magayon became such a very beautiful city or country. But yeah, Magayon is the country or the place, but this capital city still doesn't have any. If you have any suggestion for what the capital city should be named, I think it should be a Filipino word. So my Filipino fans, wow, Filipino viewers out there, if you have any suggestion for the capital city's name, because I'm taking inspiration from Manila, which is Maynila. It's like, it has the Nila is a flower, and I also want to have like something like that, a little bit play with words. But anyways, this is the end of the video. Sadly, I hope you've enjoyed as much as I did making them, even though there was a lot of hurdles with the production. But we've pushed through, and with Magayon, we always push through. This is a symbol. The capital is a symbol of hope. Even though how this was built was, I'm so excited for sharing you guys the history and what's really happening here in Magayon. But anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, comment down below what you want to see next, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. This is Alejandro, signing off. Bye!